Okay, time to start another session. I didn't for a while, but kept on working on without streaming. Now working on the paywall. Paywall kind of works already, but some details to fix, and in particular, it doesn't show the free trial for 7 days for the annual plans, which but it should. And that's changed. It used to work, but it was just hard coded before, and now it's retrieving live data from Revenuecat. Um, it doesn't work anymore. So let's see the current state first. It's good to like check all our bases first. Yeah, and go slowly, understand the problem. I'm using like the newly released GLM 4.6, and it's pretty good. I think it outperformed GPT-5 in my on some of my particular features. I developed. Um, I try to go on with the same initial prompt to Opus, GPT-5, Sonnet 4.5, I think it's now. So the latest of Sonnet. And what else? Um, yeah, there are four models: GLM 4.6, .NET, Opus, and GPT-5, four models. Yeah, correct. The worst over engineering response to the particular feature. Every feature started with the same initial prompt, and it was about what was the feature about? I was just about adding the legal links on the bottom of the paywall, which is not as simple as it sounds, because you have to open a browser, so you need to add support for it. Um, so I don't have to duplicate this content in the app. And the worst solution was from Opus. All started from the same initial prompt, but then I had to go with several other prompts to follow up, and those differed, of course, because of the unique situation each bot or AI found themselves into, or I found myself into. Then the second worst was GPT-5. Also, like working solution in the end, but not my favorite. So then I had quite a good solution, one of the best, the second best. And but that there is a little bit of personal preference, because Sonne was preferring to just create a method for adding these links, and I prefer to have a separate component, and that was the solution of GLM 4.6. Um, so I chose that one. But I could have as well, Sonne pretty good, and I could have told Sonne, start this method in a separate component. I would have done it. So almost on par, I would say. But incredible how Opus is now out of the game. 100%. Sonne 4.5 is better. Let's check. Oh, no, this one is on Opus now, but I can change the model. Sonnet 4.5. Sonnet 4.5. Yeah, and it's better than Opus, and it costs less. So what not to love in my test? And just one feature, probably not enough statistical evidence. Yeah, but I will keep on testing them. Doing a feature on four models is time consuming. It was for evaluations. I had to do four branches on four different code bases. Check out, so can't do this all the time. But now, for that reason, I'm more on GLM, and I got practically unlimited calls for like $15 on the first month. Now the plan completely changed. On ZRI, the plan are completely changed, but they are still cheap, but they are different. And I'm thinking, I don't know quite, but this ZAI be my only. thing because now I'm using all the modules, but not that it's not that sustainable to pay three subscriptions and at the same time. API, the new uh, plans. Right, do I get the introductory offer still? It says $30 a month once it starts, and you have to pay upfront. So not as cheap anymore. We can consider use the light one. Now I'm on this intermediate one, I suppose. Whatever was. You can go monthly. There you go. What's the point? Quote. So it's a bit. How many months in a quarter? There are 3 months in a quarter. So why would you do quarterly when it costs the same as monthly? 45. You get a discount. You don't get any discount. Oh, okay. You would do quarterly because you get initial discount and you pay 45. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then you unsubscribe immediately. And you know what? I tried to unsubscribe. I could not. It wasn't working, the unsubscribe. So I deleted my card, and I hope that is enough. They didn't save anywhere else. Now my payment method is not there, so they should not be able to charge me. No payment method. Yeah, just pay $15. That was an incredible deal. Subscription, auto renew. How do you change it? You go here. Yeah, add payment details. No, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do want to do that? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go back to the feature, but how do you cancel it? In a week is how do I cancel? You can cancel a subscription on the subscription management page. Where is the subscription management page? Subscription, that must be is this. Invite change plan. I will be probably that. No. I want to cancel it. How do I do that? No, here. Auto renew goes to put the card in, change plan, fuck, FAQ. So annoying. I'll probably just subscribe to the 45 quarterly, but then okay. Let's leave it there. I will try later. So let's go start with the actual work, which is okay, which is the paywall, the free trial thing. So I started with GLM to investigate the issue. Let me center this a little bit better. There, and then make this window a little bit smaller. Can't see a thing. Is that in? Yes. Just a little bit smaller on the side here. All right. So what I have in Google Play is 4 tiers divided by geographic area where the pricing is different. And so I have a total of 8 base plan called. for yearly and monthly for each tier. So for yearly plans, for monthly plans. However, there is something in the way that the Revenuecat integrated with Google Play where it didn't get the offer on the yearly plan and where the offer is the free trial. So I'm trying to figure this out. Um, so I ask how does Revenuecat know which tier to show to the user? Um, when you call purchase get offerings, which is probably in the paywall, but there are several screens in the paywall, and it's probably in the paywall content. No, it's good that I get. Yeah, it's in the offer provider. Makes sense. Yep. We call that, and we see what offers are actually valid for the particular region the user is in. So that's in the, let's make it smaller. Offerings provider. Okay. We'll have to test when it's offline, but for now, let's focus on the happy flow. When it's online, what happens is I can start main. Now it's using, it's out of the window, but yeah, you're using the Pixel 8 emulator. So now I'm going to hit run and we start the app in the emulator. Okay. Yeah, starting. The emulator is much smaller, it's slower than in real phones. So I could go through the onboarding. Yeah, and now it's probably detached from the. No, this is showing all the logs of Android. Not only the app log. This is not even the app log in some other component. Come on, this is so slow. Is it even working? Let me try again. And never happened this before like this. Okay, starting again. My swipe, actually closed the app rather than because of my goofy move, rather than going to the next screen. So you can swipe. It's always difficult to swipe with the mouse compared to the finger. Or instead of swiping, you can use the next button. Um, and when you go to the last next, it goes into the paywall. And here it says no subscription available because this is just an emulator. It doesn't work on emulator. But it works on the phone. And then I got this link. I can try once more. Yeah, and they work. They go to the privacy. Maybe a big font, but now it's okay. Yeah, let's move on. So let's see. Yeah, it works now. I don't know what happened before. So going back to here, we saw the call to get offering. Detect the user. Okay, that it does everything basically. Selects appropriate base plans from US, tier 2 for Germany, tier 3 for Britain. Okay, Brazil. Okay, not Britain, Brazil. Returns packages based on user geographic location. A user in US gets BP tier 1 yearly 2025, and Germany gets tier 2. Okay. Let me check what's actually in revenue cut configuration. First, let's check if we can access the revenue cut MCP to understand what's being synced. So what I want to do is create an issue with all the findings. But maybe let's finish with this investigation first. Nice americano. Okay. Okay. There is a lot to read here. Perfect. Now I understand the actual issues to be fixed. I'm making this up. What is that? The actual issue. Let me clarify how revenue cap package mapping works and what it needs to be fixed. The revenue cap package mapping product app expect RC annual and RC monthly. I can't read without. Yeah, generic revenue cap identifier. Okay. Group plan has tier one, tier two. Hmm. Revenue card acts as a translation layer. Okay. Yep. Check the revenue card dashboard configuration. Yeah, so I think that's the case, but let's go slow and figure out. Revenue card is here, and here I see all the four tiers. A second. Okay. One monthly, two monthly, three monthly, four monthly, one yearly, two yearly, three yearly, four yearly. Okay. Is that what I had to check? Yep. Yep. I would say so. Offering section. I think that's okay. Is the only problem is oh, okay. Let's go slow. The only problem. What is the offering section? Ah, here. Well, in the offering section, I have the four tiers. I don't ever see one. Let's open a tier. What is in the actions thing? Wait a second. Okay. In the action thing is duplicate. No. And here, okay, I go in. Okay. Identifier tier one. And so I don't see any. Ah, yeah, yeah, there you go. I see annual, I see month. So all of this should be okay. I can check all of them. No problem. But that's okay. Let's check all of them. But this was created automatically, so there is almost no chance that it's wrong. But just to be absolutely sure, it's good to check all of them. So what is this thing? It doesn't even have a label. It's a label, but doesn't say what is it. Mhm. And tier four, yeah, it's all good. The Revenuecat MCP should work. Hold on, what it was trying to do that failed? It was just trying to start the server. You don't even need to start the server. Um, let's figure that out too. So I got an MCP locally here. So that's the best thing because MCP then needs to be changed, configured. Maybe when I have a new project, maybe I will copy them out. But for now, it's this is the best place. Mm, and the Revenuecat has a README. And let's try to do a call. I don't know if this identifier. No, this is the name. Not the identifier. Is the name of the call. Okay, project details should just give the name of the whole project, budget pilot, so we can start to see if it works. Oh, alright. It just says server running, but it does not actually do anything. What? Can I just do this? No, it's not accepting. How does that work then? Every time it would just say server running. So, poof, let's ask Sonnet. So I open a new session here. We have to go in the same folder, where in the folder 2, but we are working in folder 1. And my alias to use Claude with GLM and Claude Sonnet as well. So basically, if I run this command on the command line, it says, however, it hangs there and does not provide a response. I thought that before it was working. Am I doing something wrong or the MCP need needs fixing? And check the README. So yeah, MCP Revenuecat README, that one. Okay. I can see the issue. The command is hanging. Yeah, I can see the issue. The logs run into standard error, but then MSC client is waiting for a response that never comes. The problem is that the client is waiting the server to respond. Race condition or timeout issue. Mhm. I found the bug. The Revenuecat is missing the initialize handler. Okay, we have a problem here because if this needs code changes, we have to see what we have in this branch. Oh, nothing. Okay, so we can use this branch for only Revenuecat MCP fixes. Okay. Is misinitialized the MCP client sent initialized request NCP call JS. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, this is the change. Uh, I see. That makes sense. I mean, I don't know anything about MCPs, but I understand the general gist of this. Okay. So, well, something. Okay, all that. Okay, initialize. I need to import it. Okay. So one thing is MCP call. Yeah, I thought that. Let me have a look at this. Oh my God, no. Uh, okay, with the constant. I see. So let's accept that. I wanted to have a good look at this MCP call thing. Let's see how this is going. Yeah, still thinking about the next fix. Usage MCP call. Because this MCP call was created for Bugsnag initially, because that was the only server available. But then we added new servers. I don't know if it's generic enough. Ah, there you go. Just about a comment here, perhaps. It's not generic enough. I think the only problem is that comment. But I will ask him to review that. And these identifiers are not good, yeah. Was K. Oh, let's play along with this first. So the schema is a Zod object. Uh, okay. Uh, just checking different PRs, but I think if he broke it, it was quite a while ago. Why now? Is this GitHub saying unauthorized all in a sudden? What command said for one unauthorized? Can I try it myself? I just gave up. I retried 5 times. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. which is correct. You know, you shouldn't try the same thing over and over if it just fails. But let's see. Oh, is this the actual? Oh, is the actual Claude API is returning authorized? I think so. And I probably need to do a new login. That's annoying. How often I have to do a login every day? All right, let's wait for the fifth. I could interrupt here, but there should be one, two, three, four, five. That's the last one. Okay, let's try login. Oh, I thought it was a login. There's logout. Model approvals review. Why there's no login? Okay, let's try a logout. Oh, there is logout. Oh my god. Oh wait, that was GPT. I got all confused. Oh my god. So what I was trying to do here? So just review, just view a series of PRs. Yeah, we didn't do anything. Let's leave this outside. And it's on a different code base. We didn't do any changes. Okay, that's good. I got too many open windows. Just get me confused, man. Okay, on Sonnet, what it says. Um, yeah. All right, it's trying to make the MCP work. Funny thing is that it used to work, so I don't really understand. The handler isn't being called. Let me check if there is an issue with this SDK implement initialization, or maybe we need to send an initialized notification. Let me search um, for SDK usage examples. Yes. Uh-huh. Web search doesn't work from what I, or would it? Maybe it does. Let's see. This is generic initialization request, not related to Revenuecat in particular. Okay, so the search worked. Let me fetch SDK docs directly. Okay. Uh, let's have a look. Okay, we are using that then. I didn't know even. It's called TypeScript SDK. That's such a generic name. Okay, it's within that, but dunque. Let me check if the service doesn't. I see the issue. Line 373 tries to access request schema shape method value, but there is no shape method value property. I guess initialize request shape method, def values initialize. The schema do have the method. Let me check if the server class is actually setting initialize handle automatically. Aha! Line 56, so there's a server constructor already set initialize request handler automatically via this. When we set our initialize handler, it's trying to override the built-in one, but that's causing the issue. Okay. Uh, are we going back to the previous? That was the code I just added before, isn't it? Cannot find module MCP code. Okay, that's just the folder, I think. There you go. Still hanging, but the server prints already running, which is like it was the same as before, mate. Let's start detailing logging. Okay, let's see. So far, let's go this shell. Yeah, that was exactly the same as before. Nothing changed. Not a start. And in fact, the only change is a fucking comment. Oh, yeah, it says that initialize it automatically. Okay, you can leave that comment if you want, but this is just formatting. Wait a second. So far, you didn't do any change since the previous changes were all reverted. The Let me see if it's truly a formatting. Sometimes it's tricky to see. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. The only current changes are formatting and a comment. Just so you know, go ahead with the next step. I'm not sure if he is aware that he didn't do any change. Yeah, I think it was not. Um, you're absolutely right. I got sidetracked. All my changes were reverted and back to having a formatted changing and a comment. Let me take a different approach. So I think it was good that I said that. Looking at the SDK code, I found the server class already handles initialization automatically in its constructor, lines 56 of the SDK. So the issue isn't a missing initialize handler. That was the first thing that we thought the problem was, but it's not apparently. Let me check if maybe there is an issue with how the server. Why do we fucking need a server? Everything is disconnected, you know. Because the stupid MCP protocol requires a server, that's it. But we could just use a command. The server makes everything more complex. We just have to fire an API. Some issues with tools lists. The server starts and never responds to any request. The bridge run. Let me check if there is an issue with the sync initialization. The bridge run is properly awaited. Let me compare how the Bugsnag server, which works, handles. I think it works, but I ain't tested it in a long time, so. Mm. I just realized something. The issue might be that the server needs to initialize the notification after receiving the initialized request. Let me check the MCP protocol specification. Ooh, interesting stuff we are discovering. So, okay, so that's the official documentation of MCP. Oh, it's just about versioning. This is not really the specification. Okay, let's see. So he could not find any information. Now he's going ahead. I don't understand. Um, the client sends an initialized request and awaits for the response. It's hanging there, which means the server never responds to the initialized request. All right, I think this is a good finding. But the SDK should be handling this automatically. So we don't need to do that, right? Let me check if there is an issue with the server constructor not being passed with the right options. Let me look how how we are creating the server. The server is being created correctly with server's info and capabilities. The SDK should automatically handle initialization. Wait, I wonder if the issue is that setup handlers is being called in the constructor before the server is connected to the transport. Maybe we need to set up handlers after connecting, or maybe there is an issue with the order of operation. Actually, let me just try to run the server directly and send a manual JSON RCP message. Okay, that sounds a good idea to see if it responds at all. So how does it do that? It does an echo with that JSON RCP and it pipes into the server. Okay, that's nice. Seems to work. Excellent. The server is responsive. Return a proper initialized response with protocol version 2025 618. But there is a mismatch. The client is requesting protocol 0.1, but the SDK is responding with 2025, blah, blah, blah. Let me check what protocol version the SDK support and what the client is requesting. The client is coded to request 0.1, but the new SDK returns 2025, blah, blah, blah. The MCP call JS client might not be handling the JSON response format correctly. Let me check if it's expecting a content length header. Okay, so it's doing another direct request to the MCP server by printing something into it. Why does it need to use printf? There is no substitute for this perhaps. Okay. Um Protocol version, yeah. 0618, yeah. Super new version. With the content length header, the server received it, but it does not respond. That's the real issue. The SDK expects the server a proper content length header format. Let me check how Bugsnag server, which works. You keep on saying that. I wouldn't be too sure. Compares. It might be outputting responses with content length header. Let me trace it this more. Okay. Uh, okay. I didn't check the bug snag error in a long time. But snag works fine. So the MCP call client. So this debugging session is excellent. Excellent, man. It's working so well. Of course, it's difficult, but I think it all makes sense. The MCP is working correctly. The issue must be specific to the Revenuecat server SDK. Oh wait, I think I see it now. Maybe the SDK's STDIO transport outputs responses correctly, but there is an issue with our custom make request function trying to call the revenue cloud API during initialization or tool listing, and that's what's timing out. Let me add error handling to see what's actually failing. Okay. I don't know if that's the case, but anyway, some debug would help. So yeah, the debug for list available tools, tools handler called, making request to MCP, make request to list. Those requests should not hang. I don't know why. Returning tools length. Okay. And then we go otherwise an error. Okay. If there is a message, good. Otherwise, the error itself with a toString. And now it's trying to call this method through the server and see what happens. We should see the debugging. Okay. The debug list tool handler called, even the first one, was never printed. That means the handler is never been invoked. The problem is earlier. Oh, well, that's a good finding. The client sends tools list, but the server never calls our handler. This suggests the SDK routing isn't working. Maybe we need to call server connect before setting up the handlers. Let me try reordering. This is just a wild guess. I don't fully understand this change. Hold on. How can this work? Because it close. It's okay. So this was called in this constructor. Instead, they created a new method, setup handlers, which is not called yet, to avoid calling it in the constructor, and that's aligned to the principle constructor should not do work. So I agree with this change, but there should be something else to then call that. Maybe in the next change. Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, the naming would have been better. But then what the fuck do you need it for? Let's see what it's doing now. Just delete it. Okay, makes sense. Okay, okay. Well, it didn't create infinite recursion because it was not called. It was a potential infinite recursion. Okay, see what the changes are. So when we do run, before connect, we call this setup handler, which makes an API call. I don't see how it was not working in the constructor. It should have been exactly the same. We're just moving it down the line, but still in the same place. Okay, it's time to call, see if any difference. I don't expect any difference, but I hope to be wrong. Still no debug output. The handler isn't being called. This is very strange. Let me check if there is an assertion failure happening. Oh, hold on. Let me look at line 388 of the SDK again. If it checks if a handler already exists inside the SDK set request handler method, expect the request. It's too fast, man. Just calm down. Expect request schema to have a shape method value. Yeah, we already saw that. Maybe the issue is that the SDK requires to use a different API entirely. Let me check if there is a different server class or if we need to use a higher level API. I need to be in the review category. Aha! There is both a server class and an MCP server class. The web search results mention MCP server tool and register tool. We are using the wrong class. We should use MCP server, not server. Low level protocol handler requires manual handler registration. High level server with convenience method. We're using the low level server, which explains low level being specific to an implementation, I think, which explains why handlers aren't working. We should use switch to MCP server, which provides a simpler, more declarative API. The Revenuecat server was probably originally copied from an older template and needs to be updated to use MCP server. However, fixing this properly would require rewriting a significant portion of this server. If the original server was working before, maybe the real issue is simpler. Let me check what version was working and what was changed. Uh-huh. I don't know, man. I don't know even when is the last time you use it. The only thing I can say is, can we check the Git log and see if there was any change recently? But there can be several commits ago, maybe even 30, as much as 30 or 40. I say like this. Good idea. Let me check the Git history for the Revenuecat MCP server to see what's changed. Or the MCP, eh? Isn't tracked at all? That's not true. No, that's absolutely not true, man. Okay, the okay, let's just say no, no, no. This is not true. It's no. Oh fuck. All right, that we had to change it anyway. The version from 0.1 to 2025. I don't know why it was not done before, but that's good. Um, it's not true that MCP is not tracked. If it's changed long ago, you can try with git blame to see when. Good point. Let me use git blame when see when the server JS was last changed. Okay, about 10 days ago. Okay, found something. Huh? Right. Okay, that was so good. Hopefully. Well, we didn't see it working. Line 35, the original working version was called in the construct. Well, that's what we had before. You just changed it. You are just undoing your most recent change. How can this work? It doesn't have any awareness of a previous attempt. You're absolutely right. I'm going in circles. The real issue is that fetch isn't loaded yet when setup handlers is called in the constructor, but it does get landed in loaded in run. The original code worked because fetch, yeah, synchronous set it up. The debug logs are yet never appears, which means the handler are never being invoked. Let me test if it works now. I don't know how it can work. We are back to the previous situation, aren't we? Maybe wrong. I have to check the diff again to be more aware. We changed the protocol version and thing, okay. That's formatting, and this is logging, and that's it. So, not sure, man. Yeah, we didn't do anything. Are being called, but wait, I just realized that the bug logs might not appear if there is an earlier issue. Let me check if the bug snag server handles this differently. Actually, wait, let me verify that the bug snag server does use the old protocol version and not 2025 and so on. Let me revert the change. I go it back. Ah, so I take it back. It's not working well. It's going in circles, man. I'm gonna say if MCP makes it so complicated, why don't we don't use MCP and we just make a tool, command line tool? Still works. Okay. Actually, let me read the lines 20, 54, 57 of the SDK server again. Register initial line. Looking again at the construction. Okay. I didn't even check the change, but okay, this is just a login. The tab handles is being called. Also, we have progress. I don't understand how. But the list tools handler. Ah, okay. Right. No progress. Yeah. is never invoked. So the handlers are being registered, but when the client sends tools list, the server isn't calling the handler. Actually, I just realized the client sends the actual method string tools list, okay. But the SDK is looking for handlers registered with the schemas that have a shape method value. Let me verify the tools list handler is actually registering, register. Oh, well, a second. Let me verify the tools list handler is actually getting registered. Ah, okay. I was waiting, was actually getting, instead is one thing, getting registered by adding debug at the registration point. Okay. So wait a second. If a tool doesn't is not available, it should respond with an error, not by hanging. Yeah, we'll see that later. Okay, we got some debug. Yeah, the handler is being registered without errors, but it's never been invoked. This is very strange. How can I debug it myself? Hold on. So, what it's actually doing in every call is this. Okay, with timeout 5, which we don't need for manual. It's trying to call tool list. So there you go. So here, right, hangs there. Yeah. And now it's adding more debug, and they added a try catch now. Okay. So now we can run the tool again, and it says transport connected successfully, no error there. Okay. Otherwise, it would probably exit without try catch. Okay, scroll doing it. I just did, and it's no progress. But now, dispatching server GIS. Okay, okay. To add more debugging, I totally agree with adding more debugging to understand what we get. Yeah, that's a very good um, way of proceeding. Don't I? We don't get anything strange. No message received at all. Exactly. That's what I figured out too. The interceptor never fired, so the server is not receiving any messages from the client. That means the issue is in the standard I/O transport layer. Messages from the client aren't reaching the server. But wait, when I tested the ROS STDR IO input earlier, echo, the server did a response with initialized request. Yep. The difference is in the content length header. Okay, if you think so. The MCP call JS client sends message with content length header, but maybe the SDK transport isn't reading them correctly. Why is it important? I don't understand. Let me check if the transport needs to be started listening after connect. Actually, you know what? I just realized I've been debugging this for a very long time. Let's try the simplest possible solution. Just revert the working version from the commit to see if that works. Oh God. Ah, it's going to a TMP file. Okay, I agree with that then. Okay, where was the thing? Okay, that's all an error. The module path won't work from the TMP. Let me check out that version in place. That's where I. Ah, okay, with a different name, so that's fine. I mean, I want another coffee, but I don't have any more. Okay, the original version also hangs, so it never working with the MCP client. The testing mentioned API must have been a cloud desktop. Ooh, ooh. Directly, not with this command line client. The Revenue MCP server was designed to work with the never designed to work with MCP command line client. API testing was done with cloud desktop, which likes to use a different transport. Okay. Uh, and then, I don't know. I start to understand why, for maybe with Cloud Desktop, we need the MCP client, but with Cloud Code, we don't. Um, because it can issue command lines. Okay. Okay. Let me try this. This seems very complicated or very complicated. I'm. I wonder. I don't need to use Cloud Desktop. Why do we need MCP at all? Can this be converted to a simpler command line client and with good uh, readme instructions so that we can still do all the same things without the complication of MTP protocol. There was a comma instead of a full stop, but doesn't matter. Okay, see? You're absolutely right. This is way too complicated. Let's simplify this drastically. Instead of dealing with MCP protocol complexity, they can create a simple command line client which calls directly the Revenuecat API. This will be much simpler and more maintainable. Okay, man, let's do it. Fuck MCP. That would be a big change. I don't understand what is changing. What is this CLI? Ah, we're creating a new file called CLI inside there. Okay, fine. Which is huge and but does not have everything perhaps. Or maybe it does. Let's see. We'll test it. This is a totally different approach and should you I don't know like solve completely all the problems we had so far. Make it executable. It works. Yeah. You can stay there in MCP. It's kind of a MCP like. Still cold. What changes in the readme now? Yeah. All right. Steam pull command is not an MCP anymore. Maybe we want to add this to the packages. Do we have a packages on there? Yeah, we do. Maybe it's better we do that. We want to clean up also the mess behind. Delete the server, we don't need it. And this is just a parenthesis because I had a problem here in GLM. So we couldn't actually check a revenue card because it was not working. So I say, oh, let's fix revenue card first in Sonnet. The entire file, replace the entire file with a clean version. Okay. Ooh, I wonder how's the new one gonna be like. What's he doing now? Ah, okay, good. Already deleting the original backup. Good, good. No, 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 it's not complete at all, mate. Okay. Uh, uh, well, if MCP, okay, server JS, the one from Revenuecat, is not working, we should delete it. Oh, that's the first step. Max plan, I don't have to worry about too many requests. You're absolutely right. It's not working. We have a better solution. We should remove it. Okay. Step one. Correct. Okay. Good idea. Perfect. Yeah, remove it. But we should mention in this readme. Uh-huh. Yeah. So good. I didn't even think about that far. Yeah. Good way to revert. Okay. We didn't change it anymore, but yeah, check it again. No issues. Everything is clean up and working. Okay, hold on, hold on. Not finished, mate. Um, check if MCP slash readme. Where I can find it there. Needs updating. Yep. Okay. Just a small one. This is not two anymore. Right? Yep. Hey, why do you test it again? You didn't change it. Okay. Shouldn't all these be headers be and comments and text be updated to reflect that is that are MCP or CLI? Okay. You're absolutely right. Misleading. Yep. Okay. Available tools, MCP servers, and CLI too. Oh, much better. Yep. Much clearer. Well, I like that. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Right. What else? There was something else. Ah, yes. Uh, I wanted to now. Should we add to package JSON revenue cat slash package JSON? What I did wrong? It's revenue cat slash. No, I can't find revenue cat package JSON. Um, all the various commands and update the README to use npm to call them, which makes it simpler. Great idea. That would make it much simpler to use. Let me update the packages on an npm script from all the commands. Oh, and beside I had the start server. It's not even there, so we need to add the model as SDK and the name. Yeah, so we need a lot of updated here. Updates. Okay. Actually, fantastic. There now is all updated. Do we need to update the top readme? Yes, we do. It's probably doing it now, is it? Okay. I thought I already removed. Okay. Actually removed there where we could delete everything. Okay. Isn't it enough to do npm install since we changed packages and to remove it? Yeah. Yeah, so so if I go here, oh my god, what's it doing? Packages. Okay, we are saved. Okay, let's go to MCP, Revenuecat, npm install. I don't want to overlap. Let me check what it's doing. Okay. Shell iron npm install. Oh, We need to test it. Well, not really, but okay, since we are there, let me do NCU, okay, npm install, okay, all right. We're already there, so let's start to try something. That looks good. That looks good. I think everything should work, but let's run also the other list commands. It looks great, man. So simple. No MCP. Okay, there is one more thing I want to fix here, which is like now the main servers MCP call tool. What servers, Jason? Okay. Uh, oh, let's ask that first. What's servers JSON for? Does it need update? Okay. The file is already correct. Okay, okay, cool. MCP call. Let's have a check. I think that MCP call was initially created for bug snag only, and then adapted to work with Firestore and Google Play. Um, um, I think it may need some clean up, but I believe it could be only comments. Can you check? You're exactly right. There are several Bugsnag specific reference that should be generalized. Okay. See, check what the changes are. Are they only comments? Yeah, comments. All right. Now let's fix the environment loading to be generic. Mhm. Are we breaking stuff? The function called to pass server path. Ooh, what's this issue? Okay. Okay. This will take a while. Oh, actually, it's much faster than it used to be. We don't have any progress indication. I thought there was a percentage of progress, but it's seconds. So we don't know if it's fast or not. Yeah, it's not fast. It's good news, but I don't know. I didn't use Sonnet much. Yeah, I started using GLM, unfortunately. So this, but we're using Sonnet, not Opus. So I think I got a limited use basically for this kind of speed with one session. Many people say, "Oh, use two, three sessions." Man, what's the cognitive load there? You have to really follow them. They are not independent. Cannot do more than one session. I can do two. I'm doing two sessions actually now, but just because I had a problem here, I parked this session and I'm working on this other. Then I go back to that. But in parallel, very difficult. For the cognitive load on myself, okay, it's doing the compact conversation. Alright. I can see from the conversation summary all required work has been completed. All the changes already been committed. The last task cleaning up has been completed successfully. Well, okay, but to be sure, check again inside the MCP call to the generic MCP call JS does not have references to bug. Um, that's not shouldn't have can have a reference. Is generalized. Is truly generalized. Check again that okay, we check that the bug snag still works. Can you check that Firestore MCP still works or still work? And can you check that what was the other one? Google Play MCP still works. So I asked four things. Bugsnag, Firestore. Yeah, we checked on the tool list, which is not much, but at least formally they work. The tool list was not working on Revenuecat. I wonder that if I wonder if now that the MCP call is generalized, would the original server Revenuecat implementation work? Great question. Let me say, I don't think, but I just want to cover my bases there. Okay, let's get the original server out. It's better to test once more, make sure. I don't think it would work, but and I think the command line approach is vastly superior to the MCP server approach because it's simpler. Simpler is superior. Ah, yeah, we are going back, and we'll have to go back again, delete again the dependency. You didn't install it, yeah? Directory is installed already. Okay. Right. It hangs. Okay. Let's delete it. What's he doing? Server. Okay, starting list tabs. I'm gonna say to give up. It's okay. I was just curious. Let's. Is curious better at that? Let's delete um the server, Revenuecat server, and remove the MTP SDK. The command line tool is fully enough. Yep. Clean up. It's removing the dependency. Perfect. Oh, there was that. I didn't notice that. There was a nested MCP. What the heck was that, man? Was it for testing the server, maybe? Okay. So it's testing again if that works. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. We didn't change it, so it should work, but fair enough. All right. Um, can you create a issue summarizing what we have done so we can then create a branch for the issue? We are doing it that backwards, but we didn't know what we were gonna do here. We just wanted to fix that. But now we document what we have done. Okay, we're gonna read this in GitHub. Let's see. So if I go to backlog, because when we create an issue, it goes there. Not yet. Right. No, you didn't add the issue into the project as explained in Cloud MD. Do it properly. Okay, there you go. Now the issue will appear here, there. Convert a Revenuecat from broken MCP server to simple CLI tool. Summary, replacing a non-working Revenuecat MCP server with a simple command line tool that directly calls the Revenuecat API version 2. Also generalize MCP call to work with the MCP server. Okay. The Revenuecat MCP server hangs. Okay. Replace. We got these commands. Update documentation. Everything is that is matter is already in the project documentation, so that's great. From maybe we go to in progress, so it means it disappear from here. It goes in the work in progress backlog, and yeah, and now we can go to review and test directly. This is still here. This works. We already tested enough. All the paywall tickets, which are several they can be moved when all works because we have to keep on checking that we didn't break anything there once the paywall is finished. Um, so okay, yeah, go ahead. Could have said commit PR, but can say in the next message. Is already committing, adding, double check. Yeah, looks good. Many files, but it looks good. Yeah, self-contained change. Commit. push, create a PR. Oh, already doing. Okay. Yeah, well, I already sent it. Fine. It will stay already done it. I could interrupt it. See what it says. Sometimes I'm curious. Pull request has been created. Okay. So if I go here to pull request and I see the pull request, I can do a quick review. Ah, yeah, because of the packages mainly. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's easy to read now. Okay, much simpler, much better. And that's a CLI tool. Might need changes once we start using it, but we have a base that's working before we didn't have that. Okay, merge whenever you're ready. Well, that depends on the pipeline, which should be very fast because it's only one tool. So it's just doing that, doesn't need to do any Flutter. Yeah, done. So let's just merge it. Or we can show off and call the auto merge feature, which now it sounds silly because it's already been triggered with the PR number, which is 285. We'll just merge right away without waiting because all the checks already passed. But the advantage is we'll also pull main, switch to main and delete the branch, do all the cleanup. Now we are on main and we don't have any branch. So it did 3 commands: the pull, the fetch, and delete local branch. So it's still convenient to run that. Okay. I just fixed the broken Revenuecat MCP to be a simple command line tool instead, as documented in Revenuecat. It was there and now it's disappeared. Read me that one. Can you try to use that to understand the situation better? Okay, very generic, but should have the contest. We didn't pollute the contest fixing the MCP in this session. That would have been a mistake because it was a totally different um, issue. Let me use the Revenuecat CLI tool to understand what's actually configured in the Revenuecat dashboard. Fantastic. Okay, that doesn't matter. Enough with this request for feedback. How many do you ask me? I cannot answer all of them. That's so annoying. That's a fucking bug. Alright. Wrong folder. Okay. Bingo. This is the smoking gun. What smoking gun? Uh-huh. So we got all the products. That's an yearly one. Guys, P1, D4. I don't know what that means. Ah, P7 day monthly. Let me check the offering to see how they are mapped. Okay. Control O. List offerings. Okay. Now it works. So good. Now I need to check the packages in the current offering. What's going on now? Let me check the CLA if I have the available commands. Don't know what happened, but now I need to check the packages in the current offering, tier 1. I need to use the Revenuecat API directly since there is no built-in command for that. I need to check packages in the current offering, tier 1. Well, that's built in. Let's build it. Let's copy that without the perfect. Let's just on it. Now I need to check the packages in the current offering in tier 1 as an example. Let's say as an example. No built-in command for that. Let's give the command to this one. I don't know, that will be broken down in lines incorrectly, so let's put it in Z and edit to make it correct. Unfortunately, all these uh, lines are annoying. There's no way to remove them. Okay. Okay, it's on one line. So let's copy that. And then we ask, is there a way to make this a new command? I think it's clear that it's inside the same. Yes, let's add a new command to the CLI tools to get offerings detail, including its packages. Let me add the current CLI structure. Okay, get offering ID. Yes, we need a new branch. We need to test it. So good. Yeah, test it. All the problem, like usual. Doesn't include the packages in the offer. Is that correct? Yeah, that's not very helpful. There's not much. Because my initial request, which was based on that, check the package. But that's not what we get. So this command was incorrect. I mean, it was correct, but was not returning the information we were hoping to get. It seems need to be fetched in a separate endpoint. Let me add a command to list the packages in our offering. Ah, okay. Okay, list packages in an offering. Offering detail without packaging. No, okay, that's good. And we'll try that. More changes. Just that one line. Okay, an example. Okay. So it's becoming a meta session, working more on the MCP than the actual issue. I even forgot what the initial issue was. Yeah, it was about the paywall free trial thing, but we are so far from it. We are like 3 levels away. Ah, yeah, that was connected to the fact the revenue card might not have the current data. That's why we are checking revenue card, but then we could not check revenue card because the MCP was not working. So that's why we went down 3 levels. Okay. Uh, let's create a new issue for this change. The previous PR has been already merged. Once the issue is created, create a branch for these changes based on the issue. Then commit and push and create a new PR. Okay, that's the whole thing. I think no problem to digest all this and convert in steps. Creating an issue first, okay. Get offering list packages. That sounds correct. Now we go to GitHub, add it to the project. So we go here, no, not projects here, but the global projects. And then we go to backlog. One second. Okay. And in backlog, we don't see the new issue yet because we have to add to the project. And it should appear. There you go. Now we can look at it more clearly. Well, now we can say, make it this in progress. It goes to work. And basically it goes on to review already. Yeah. Well, we skipped one ticket. Not sure. Anyway, checkout main, that will fail. Oh no, the pool will fail, but you don't need to do it. Yeah, it will fail. But it's gonna stash. Okay, do this, fine. I'll let you do what you want to do, but we already pulled, so we don't need to do this. And now we do stash pop, usual steps. Create a branch, and stash pop, doesn't matter the order. Yeah. And now Create all, commit, and create a PR. Okay, this is smooth styling, push. Come on. And the PR is there. Nice. The readme is up to date, right? Then we can go open a new window to go inside the project, check the PR, check the current build. Actually, no, just need the PR. And the PR number is 287. So let's wait for that. 287. Okay, nice. But we have to wait for merge before we go on with changes, just to not mess it up. Let's go have a look at the diffs while we are waiting for it. Okay, straightforward, simple, just console log. Here you go. Yeah, such a simple change. Good. I like simple. So this will soon end. This will go every 120 seconds, so we might have to nudge it ourselves. I can to avoid waiting. I just Ctrl C and run. This is useful, especially when merging. Okay, this is useful when left unattempted. That's why I have 120 seconds. Okay, so now the PR is merged and we are back to main and this pulled and this fetched and the other branch is deleted. Now we say no and it says actually I already added a command to fetch offering of a package. No, the check to check packages. Okay, let's use the same. To check the packages in the current offering, look at the updated README Revenuecat README, that one. No. Oops. Revenuecat README, that one. Okay. Ah, that should be enough. Come on, GLM. Perfect. I can see the new commands. Let me see, check the package in the tier 1 offering. Perfect. Let me get the detailed package information to see which products they are mapped to. I need to check the API documentation to understand. Ooh. See, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the issue. Yeah. It's like the Google Play part is configured correctly, but this is not reflected in Revenuecat. And this probably because I imported the products in Revenuecat before I added the trials. And I thought it would just sync, but it didn't. Uh, Based on the Revenuecat API documentation and what I have discovered, I have now a complete picture of the issue. Let me summarize what I found. Um, let's create a ticket for this investigation. Yeah. I think the issue would be that I imported the products from Google Play to Revenuecat before I had the offers configured, and I thought they would. Thanks so much for telling me now, but this is a process of learning incrementally. I thought they would be synced, but uh, it looks like they were not. Maybe maybe we should do something in the revenue cut console to force resync or delete and recreate offers. We don't have any customers yet. We are still in the initial setup. Um, nice. But before we do anything else, though, I think we should create a ticket now that we understand the issue a bit more, explaining the problem and the solution we are going to try. I understand this may changes, so maybe we should focus more on the problem and the situation or the current status quo. Current status quo. Maybe it's too much, but let's see. Oh, that's GLM. Yeah, GLM 4.6, such a good update. It became from a good model. It was a good model, 4.5, and became an excellent model. It was a good but not too smart. You could do simple stuff. And now I think it's just as smart as, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm deluded, but it's just as smart as GPT-5, I would say. Almost, at least. Or in some cases, superior. I just like it. And the formatting is so good, it's like GPT-5 gives you shit output, it's so difficult to parse. The timing of the product import by software configuration is like the root cause. Let me help create a configuration support ticket, a comprehensive support ticket documenting the issue with the current status and our findings. Okay, 2 hours. Maybe you can take a break soon. Here is a comprehensive support ticket draft. Root cause identified, data gap, draft, investigation. Okay, let's just do it, man. Let me read. No, 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 it's not support ticket. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, I think you misunderstood. I meant to create a ticket in an issue, I say, I'm starting to get hungry, one half past one, in create an issue in GitHub project as explained in FloatMD at FloatMD. Uh, no support ticket for revenue card. I think we understand the issue. So I think no need to say think again. We can solve it on our own somehow, resyncing or deleting or and re-importing base plans from that's the actual name from Google Play to Revenuecat. I mean, it's super explicit. Um, we don't need Revenuecat support. Please go ahead and create the issue. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Maybe I say ticket. It was misunderstood as a Revenuecat support ticket. That's understandable. There you go. That looks better. Ah, I understand now. You want me to create a GitHub issue to document this investigation plan and to resolve it, and the plan to resolve it. Let me create the issue in your GitHub project. Okay, fantastic. In your project, fantastic. So it's gonna do first create the issue and then add to the project. Right. Did you add it to the project, mate? Don't think you did. No, you didn't add. You didn't add the issue to the project. You also said it's gonna create the issue and add to the project, but then it did not. You're absolutely right. Oh yeah, like always, I'm always right. If I listen to the LLM, oh, oh no, that's not the right type of issue. What the heck is going on? Hold on, what went wrong? 285. Uh, something went wrong. The issue 285 is a PR issue and should not be there. You're absolutely right. I apologize for the error. Since the issue number was correct and there was an issue in the issue correct, what happened? When I created the issue, I can't see the output anymore. It's been deleted. It was 288 and not 285. Yeah, but now we have to clean up the 285. This never happened. There you go. Free trial labels not displayed. Okay. Yes, but now we have an issue 285 that should not be there. No, not at all. It's a PR issue and it shows in the um, report and that should not be there. Okay, can I just delete it? I don't know how to do that. Yeah, delete from project. But it's not, it's already deleted. 285, no, it's this one. Delete from project. Can say that. But I want to see, let's see what it does first. Can can I just select the three dots menu on issue 285 and choose delete from project. Okay, good. So this issue 288, let's put it in progress. There you go, appear after a while. Unfortunately, I thought, oh, we should have only one issue in progress. Why does this says 02? Oh, this is no. Okay. 302. I thought, oh, we should have only one issue in progress, but unfortunately, these are sub issues, blocking issue for the original issue. So, bit tricky there. Okay. So, going back to, okay, no, I see. Let's start working on issue 288. Ah, okay. Option one, okay, option two, exactly what I said, yeah. Let's try the resync. Navigate to Revenuecat dashboard. Ongoing incident. I don't think it affects me, but unfortunately, when there is an incident, everything else can be affected, even though it's not related. I know by experience that. Okay, let's try. So, don't know how to trigger everything. Can I? No, I can't. We just 288. I went to Revenuecat dashboard, but I don't see how I can trigger a resync. Let me help you explore Revenuecat dashboard and find the sync option which does not exist. Since we are working on issue 288, let me first add the to-do list. Okay, perfect. I don't think there is an option. But let's see. Let me help you explore Revenuecat. Okay. You're right. The Revenuecat does not always make the receipts option obvious. So there is. Let me guide you through the typical Revenuecat dashboard structure to find the sync option. Revenuecat inside. Sync happens automatically or through specific dashboard actions. Sync location usually found in product section or in app settings. Okay. Product catalog. We go here. Don't see anything. Let's see. No. We got this. Go inside. Go delete. Hold on. Let's keep on reading. If sync is unavailable, product recreation is not solved. We have to look navigate to products on the left sidebar. Well, product catalog. Yeah, close enough. Fine. Look for sync or refresh button in the product page. New import. There isn't a single one. Already checked, but there isn't. Check the individual product action menu that might have sync options. Okay, that's to the point. This is just for the name. Weird that it just deletes it. Go back. It doesn't really have a menu. Yeah. Secondary location, app settings. Go to settings, app, select, look for sync app settings. But project settings, which is no app setting, isn't it? Oh, yes. Well, yeah. They are part of the same app. Tertiary location, integration sex, integration group plane. That's what I'm already looking at. I know. I don't see any. If no single option available, most likely not. Revenue cut down doesn't provide manual sync because they assume we will play data changes automatically trigger updates. In this case, we'll need to use option 2, delete and import. Okay, let's use option 2. Backup current configuration. Don't need to do that. Delete products. Wait a few minutes. Okay. The problem is that the offering contain products, so I don't know. How do I delete product? I go here, yeah. Oh, what if here, now import only for new product? Okay. If I go here and I say delete, will it let me delete because it's inside an offering? Transactions. Let's delete the offerings first. All right, let's take a note of the current state. Uh, because we'll have to recreate it. Offerings. We have tier 1, 2, 3, 4. delete it. Ah, yeah, that works. Every offering has annual and monthly. Okay. So after we've done that, we should be able to delete the products, I hope. I do weird transactions because we did it in the sandbox. How this how is this related to the sandbox or not? You know, of course that's sandbox. I don't know. Okay, no problem. I deleted the offerings without a problem, but when I try to delete products, I get the expect error messages. Ah, go to products, try to delete it again. There, delete product. Well, so it is associated offerings. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you will need to delete the offers before. Yeah, but they can't use in transaction. Yeah, I get. Okay, doesn't matter that. What matters is this. There are transactions in the system using this product. Close. This is because I did I did some sandbox tests. Any is there a way to delete those test transactions first? Targeting. So we are going backwards every time. And we're getting to the issue though, but it's not simple. If I delete the customer, but I can't. Not from here. See from here. Sandbox. Why is this only here that appears a switch for sandbox data? I was never there before. Okay, those are the transaction, yeah? Oh, no good. Delete customer. Right, we delete subscriber. Please type confirm. Sure, you can do that. It will be recreated with a new ID, not a problem, right? I think. Then I tried to go back. This should have removed the transactions. So I can go back to products. and go here and click delete product. I think it worked. It wasn't clear. Yeah, it worked. No feedback at all. The only feedback is that the row is deleted. I managed by deleting the customer that deleted all the transactions. Now I deleted all the products. I'm now going to send this prompt until I actually done it. So let's go on. And this could have been done by the MCP by this point. Whatever will solve the problem. And actually the import from Google Store, I don't know if it could be done through the MCP or command line tool that we have now. Okay, no products. Go back to there. Stretching. That's the other aspect of programming. This is not coding. This is all the problems that are around. It's much harder than actually writing code. Excellent. Now, slow down, mate. Excellent. Now that you've cleared the products, we can now proceed to the import process. Let me guide you through the next steps. Perfect. Great job clearing the way another heading. Okay. It's kind of the same. Anyway, clean state achieved, automatically sync. Do it. I really? I thought you had to press the import thing there. I don't think that would be the case. All right, so I will take a lunch break and see if it's true. And I think that would not be true. And we'll have to just press import instead. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there and see if they are really actually re-imported. Okay. Okay. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. I didn't know about it. So let's wait. Okay, finish the stream now. Let's go to have some food. When I come back, I will see whether or not the products are automatically re-imported. It suggests to integration status. Ah, I didn't know that. Integration. I don't think I have that set up. Google. Nah, there is no such thing. Marketing, attribution, analytics. I want to apps and providers. Maybe it's here. Yeah. I think that's the one. So let me clarify that. I can see Play Store connection in apps and providers section, and I misspelled store. Let's fix it. It's not sure. I'm not sure that it's a connection. Let's remove the word connection. Yeah. Open that. But I don't see anything related to Play Store in integrations. I will wait a few minutes by having lunch now. Uh, but I have a feeling that products will have to be imported manually. Okay, I'm not really saying anything, but just about my perception. I might be wrong, but I think I'm correct. I will give the benefit of the doubt. Let's not be arrogant. Perfect. I will lunch. That sounds like a great plan. Your intuition is probably right about manually import being needed. Integration location, yeah, might be an absent providers rather than integration section. Manual import likely. Product listings often require manual action after deletion, especially for complete data refresh. Lunch break timing. Uh, okay. When you're away from back from lunch, check the product section. Okay, do the import, and then we have to do the offering. Import sync from Google, refresh connect, manual import location, and quick CLI verification. Okay, cool. All right. And for the streaming, bye bye.